13th of August 2021 was when the 21-22 Premier League season began. We're now on Friday the 20th of May and we have reached match week 38. I cannot believe it is the last match week of the season, and oh my days, we have a big final day. We don't even know who the champion of England is going to be. We don't know who's going to get top four. We don't know who's going to get European places. And we certainly don't know who that final team is going to be getting relegated. So they bring chaos to any stream that they are on. I'm delighted to welcome from Leicester Till I Die, Mr. Chris Forryan. How are you, Chris?
How very dare you, sir? Chaos to any stream. All I will say to that is we do know who's going to win the title, and it's going to be Man City. I am very well, thank you very much. I am very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Suffering a little bit with hay fever. It is, but yeah, I'm good. And Brad, welcome back. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm very well, thank you. Cheers for having us on. Looking forward to doing this. Being a Leicester fan, there's nothing to stress about the last day. We haven't got anything to bottle this season, so
just laugh.
All the stress is on you. Yeah,
I know. It's definitely going to be very interesting. Roberto, I can see your comment from earlier. I can see all your predictions as well. I will get to your prediction in a minute. Elevator and Escalator fan says, I'm going to make the easiest predictions right now. I'm not going to spoil the big ones for the video. So top four: Spurs, Europa, Manchester United. Right. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. Hello, Liz. Hope you're good. Hello, Sebastian. This is going to be one of the most intense Championship Sundays in a while. Well, that's at least what we call the last day of the Prem on NBC. Yeah, it certainly will be. But we might as well kick things off. And we have, Arsenal, Everton. I mean, this game, maybe if Everton had lost to Crystal Palace, maybe this would have been a lot more important. But basically, Arsenal need Norwich to beat Tottenham. Everton are safe. We will get on to Everton because I do want to speak about the pitch invasion last night, which I think is absolutely embarrassing. 3 wins to Everton, 1 draw, 1 win to Arsenal. Actually, Everton won this fixture 1-0 last season. So with the pressure off Everton, Chris, Arsenal have got more to play for now.
I mean, Arsenal are going to be grasping at straws if they're relying on Norwich, I mean, they're hosting Spurs, but they hope that they can beat Spurs. No, Arsenal have, they shouldn't be in that position. But Everton, like you say, they're safe now. Arsenal have had a funny season. We remember they started off 3 or 4 games without any points, then they went on a fantastic run. And let's be honest with you, they could finish first, and Arsenal fans would find something to moan about. So I don't know what this one is going to be a difficult one. I've gone for a draw for this one because I think Everton, with the win yesterday, they're safe, so they can just go out and enjoy it. They had only 1-2 away from home all season, one of which was against us, unfortunately. Arsenal, I just don't know which Arsenal are going to turn up, in fairness. I'd love to see Everton beat Arsenal, but I think it'll be a draw.
What score are you going for?
Oh, you want to score? Let's go 1-1.
1-1. Brad, I mean, how would Arsenal fans see this season? Do you think it's been a bit of a success or a failure, knowing that they didn't really have any Europe to play for? They didn't have the cups. They were knocked out of the FA Cup pretty early on, League Cup as well. So they've only had the league. Do you think they'll be disappointed if they don't get top 4?
To be honest with you, Arsenal fans, like Chris said, it depends on their opinions on Mikel Arteta. I think he could win the league and have 99 points, and some of them would want him out because he didn't get 100. That really does, as some young and wise Jedis once said, that really does cloud their judgment on how their season's been. But even still, Arteta out of the equation, let's just say, I don't know, let's say it's Carlo Ancelotti was a manager, just to give a manager, they'd probably still moan at, but less of them would moan at it. I still think it's been a success if you look at where Arsenal actually are as a club and not where their snobbery of past success has led Arsenal fans to delusionally believe they're automatically a top 4 club, because they are like Spurs and Manchester United. They're clearly in what you'd call the rebuild bracket, in terms of they've fallen from that perch. They now need to rebuild themselves up. So realistically, 5th, probably a good season for Arsenal. In terms of their snobbery and fan perspective, it's obviously a failure, because they were all giving it large, weren't they, Chris? And I'm sure they're giving it large in terms of they've got Europe next season, but they were giving it large going, oh, you wait, no European football, no distractions, we'll go out the cups early. Well done, you did a great job doing that.
Brad, can I just write those down? Because we can use those next season, can't we?
Yeah, exactly. Keep these all noted, Chris. Keep these all noted. But no, I mean, they were saying all that, and they were going, oh, we'll clamber to top 4 because Spurs will have Europe. They'll be focused on that. Man U are a disaster, so we should easily get above them. 4 should be no problem. No, you don't just click your fingers and fix the problem. And everybody keeps saying, oh, that's easy to say. Look at Manchester City. It took them 8 years to do anything of relevance with the money investment. So it's not just something that just bang. You're not playing FIFA anymore. You're not playing Football Manager. You don't just do this in a couple of hours and change your whole perspective of it. 5th is a very good season for Arsenal. I think they've actually probably overachieved, because they would have been looking to get back in the fight for Europe after the disasters last season. But I'm pretty sure that 99% of Arsenal fans will be out there saying that this is a poor season, we didn't get Champions League football. When realistically, from 8th to 5th, it's a very good improvement on a short scale.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go.
Certainly is.
I know I like to ramble with my answer, so I will conclude with what you actually probably asked me at the start of this, and I forgot. I think Arsenal, given Everton's position from their result last night, are safe. They'll be happy just to be hungover. I think Arsenal, damp squid, because it won't matter because of what Tottenham are going to do. I think Arsenal win this comfortably 3-0.
3-0. Wow. Interesting. Obviously the elephant in the room is definitely the pitch invasion. I mean, Chris, the fact that Everton scored in the 86th minute, they then had fans run onto the pitch. Is this happening too often now?
We discussed this, didn't we, just before we came live, and it appears to have been getting worse. We have had the Sheffield United problems. All I will say is well done to Vieira for smacking the Everton fan. He should have knocked all his teeth out. Because when he went up and was touching Patrick Vieira, he didn't know if he got a knife or whatever. You've got to really look at Everton's security setup, and they kind of the season they've had. I get it with the Everton fans wanting to come on the pitch, but if the government suddenly come back and say, right, all the fences are going up again, the wire fences and everything, and we all know we hate those, and I say respect to Liverpool with what happened, but you can't say no, we shouldn't have them, and. The thing is that the referee, and there's actually history for this, and Brad will hopefully back me up. I don't know if you remember, but Leicester, when Fulham had Malcolm McDonald as their manager, and we were both in the second tier, and Fulham were in the second place, and we were slowly, reining them in week by week by week, and I think we played Burnley in the last game, and we got a draw. And I'm not sure whether, I think Fulham might have been losing, and with about 3 or 4 minutes to go, their players invaded the pitch. So the referee just called the game off. Didn't restart it at all, just called the game off totally. And then there was like a 2-week wait while they decided what they were going to do and whether they're going to replay the whole game, whether they're going to get the teams out just to play the last 4 minutes. And in the end, the FA or whatever it was at that point said, nope, results stand. And, Fulham did not get promoted. Malcolm McDonald, all respect to him, was the first person apparently to ring Leicester and say congratulations. But, fans, sometimes... we've all got, every team's got them. No team's any different to any other. We've all got them. Fans with no brains. You wonder where the missing link is, and you can find most of them at different football grounds on a Saturday. But so, they just don't realise that the damage they could do. I mean, if they'd called that game off and said, right, it's void, you've got to go and play it again, and then Everton would have lost it, I'd have been pissing myself laughing.
Then they got what they deserve, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I get the invasion at the end because it's been that. I mean, we went through that with The Great Escape, but when we survived, there was only a few, wasn't many there because we were away to Sunderland. But I get that, but again, let's also say question Everton. We were talking about, they had to cross the pitch to get to their tunnel. So where was the security making a tunnel for them to go down? 2 minutes ago, they've just seen an invasion. What did they think was going to happen at 90 minutes? They're all going to sit there and get the sandwiches out. So Everton have got to take a big rap for this as well. Sorry, I've gone on a bit there, but
no. It's absolutely fine. I absolutely agree. I think it's like Everton have had one of those seasons where it's just been a terrible, terrible season for them, and you have to say as well, Lampard joined Everton when they were 16th. He's managed to get them 16th. So, he's managed to keep them up. Fair play to him for keeping them up. Because that Everton side is probably the worst Everton side I've seen for a long, long time. I remember the 1998 team where they almost went down under Howard Kendall, and that team wasn't too good. Walter Smith, I think, had one team in the early, 102 season, and that wasn't great either. So it's well done, Everton, for obviously surviving. Yes, I can understand, the pitch invasion, but to do it prematurely, I should say, that's easy for me to get out. Was quite interesting. It was quite interesting as well. Yeah. But for this one, I think Arsenal will win, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I've gone for a 2-1 win to the Gunners. Anyway, they should deduct points for Everton after the pitch invasion. Arsenal have top 4 to play for, even though it's unlikely. 2-1 to Arsenal. For Brad, any chance that on the last day of the Prem that Leicester can beat Southampton 9-0 again?
Oh, well, no one else has done it. I gave everybody else the instructions. Man U have done it. We've done it. Someone else do it. We'll have to do it again. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if Vardy can score 9 and maybe sneak a golden boot in there while he's at it.
He's going to get his normal 3, is he?
That would be amazing. Arsenal 2, Everton 1, says Liz Golden. To be fair, could have been worse. Arsenal could have been Norwich. Yeah. Premier League has to do something to protect the players and employees on the pitch. Yeah. Oh, who goes up, by the way? Huddersfield or Forest?
Huddersfield.
Well, I have 2 Leicester fans with me, so I know what answer this is going to be.
Huddersfield.
I agree. Huddersfield, totally.
Yeah. I've very much, I've been asked, and I know you've probably been asked this question as well, Chris. I've enjoyed being asked the question, would it not be nice to see a Coventry or a Forest or a Derby come up? And my response with a lovely smile on my face is, no, I love the fact that they're irrelevant in the Championship. And that's not a diminishing comment towards the Championship. I'm very happy with being the king of the Midlands year in, year out, just by being in the higher division. We win the rival battle, hands down. You know what? I would love it if at the end of the season, I know it's Kevin Keegan the way I say that, but I would love it if Norwich is Norwich. They are like Norwich. If Forest's achievement this season was we knocked out the former FA Cup holders in the 4th round and got beat by Huddersfield in the playoff final. So I'm all for Huddersfield coming back up. I don't care how terrible they were. I'd rather have terrible Huddersfield than trashy Nottingham Forest.
I mean, there's an argument to say that you've actually got 3rd versus 4th there, so it's probably the fairest result. So, but I totally just, back up what Brad said there. F the local derbies. I don't care. I want them to sort of stay down and plus they beat us when we played them. So and I think the thing is, and I found this with the Leeds fans, is that when the Leeds fans came up, they were a case of, my God, thank God we're back. It's great to be here. Where with Forest, you're going to get, we're back where we belong. It's going to be like Norwich Mark 2.
We'll be winning European Cups again soon.
Yeah, and it's like we're here because we used to be here and what have you. Well, so did Huddersfield. Huddersfield have actually won more league titles than Tottenham. So
that's very true. That is very true.
No, come on, Huddersfield. Come on.
Thomas Sanders, I believe you're new. Thank you for tuning in. Chelsea draw yesterday. Yes, we will get on to Chelsea in a wee bit. In my opinion, if Everton went down, they would not be in the Prem for a while. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they just suffered like Leeds did. In the mid-2000s when Leeds went down. I think they just suffered like them.
So much rotting away in that club that it wouldn't do them any harm, to be honest with you. I think they'd probably come back stronger.
Yeah, definitely. Arsenal won, Everton won. Everton parade will be hilarious, going up and down County Road near Goodison, where Liverpool parade next Sunday will be absolutely historic. We'll be in the Champions League on Saturday. Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to speak about Everton anymore. Fraser, thank you very much for tuning in. And hit that down like button, folks, says Liz Golden. That was an awful American accent, but I do try my best. Anyway, and there are 152 of you watching, so consider subscribing and consider liking, like the stream as well. And also go and check out Leicester Till I Die as well. Now, a game that is absolutely significant in terms of the relegation. Brentford against Leeds. Leeds United have to better Burnley's result to stay up, but Leeds United have not beaten Brentford away since the early 1950s. So it has been a long, long time since these two have played in the top flight. Leeds 1 win, Brentford 1 win. There's been 3 draws, 1-1 draw the last meeting as well. I think that this meeting was 2-2 earlier in the season as well. I've got to be honest, Chris. I think Leeds are doomed. Brentford could actually finish, believe it or not, the highest that they could finish is probably 9th. Which is absolutely amazing for a first-timer like Brentford.
I love teams like Brentford, and this is why I wanted Luton to come up. For them to be given a chance to have a go and give it a go. I mean, can I just say, Norwich, Watford, if you're watching, do this. Sheffield United. All right. They go down after 2 seasons, but Sheffield United stayed up the first season and did well. So did Leeds, and well done Brentford. I mean, we were all saying that they were probably going to be the most successful of the 3 to come up, but then that was hardly a hard task when you look at who the other 2 were. But they've struggled this season. You've got a team that has basically been the master of their own downfall. I mean, losing as they did earlier on in the season, the 5s and the 6-0s. Was there even a 7-0 in there? I'm not sure. But they're on a minus 38 goal difference. Burnley are on minus 18. It's going to take a miracle. But I have said a few weeks ago that Burnley were safe, and then they went and threw it away. I said Leeds would never be dragged back into the relegation zone, and there they are. And I said Everton was certain to go down. So it shows what I know. But unfortunately, this is Leeds' last game in the Premier League for at least the season. Brentford are going to win this, probably 2-0. It could be Eriksen's last game for Brentford, so it could be a very significant match for that. So he might want to sort of really go out with a bang. And apparently he's been linked to Leicester, according to Fabrizio. So we'll wait and see. I would love him, to be honest with you. And again, that's my Kevin Keegan. But no, Leeds, it's goodbye, Leeds. Well done, Brentford, on a great season. Look forward to seeing you next season. Yeah, definitely. Leeds suffered the double plus 8 years and the amount of time that it took us to put in the Prem. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Douglas. Made my day. Kevin Tran saying Arsenal 4, Everton 1. And then he's going Brentford 2, Leeds 0. So agreeing with Chris. Believe it or not, my prediction is 2-0 Brentford. So yeah, Leeds are gone, regardless of what happens to Burnley. Brentford 3, Leeds 0. Brentford 2, Leeds 2. 5 yellow cards and a red. Well, with Leeds United, you never know. You never know with Leeds United. Brentford 1, Leeds 2, a 90th minute winner from Melie to keep Leeds up, just like Alisson did to keep us in the UEFA Champions League. Just imagine if that happened. Wow. I don't see that happening, but you never know. And hello to Cedric.
as well. Brad, Leeds United are breaking records for all the wrong reasons. They have more than 100 yellow cards, which is a Premier League record. Will they be missed, Leeds?
Not from me, personally. I thought they had a bit more flamboyance in the early 2000s, but I've just never rated this side. There's a few individuals, of course, that stand out. Rafinha, Phillips, and that stand out.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bielsa. I didn't rate him. I didn't get on the Bielsa hype train because my way or the highway, and playing that stubbornly against any opposition gets you slaughtered at any division, let alone at the top of the English channel. Playing the likes. I mean, look at Manchester United season, and they still managed to stomp them 6-0, 6-1, or something stupid like that. You can't be stubborn. They're the makers of their own downfall. They brought in an American coach who's proven why they should stay on that side of the pond for the greatest respect in terms of management. They shouldn't be leaping over to. Yeah, they shouldn't be leaping over to manage English at the toppest division. Is what I mean. They should compare the level of standard of football over there and maybe match up in like a Championship and League One before they jump to the Premier League. And I think Brentford have actually, maybe it's come from the manager within, but he might have taken a look at, funny what Chris said, Sheffield United had second season syndrome. And I think Huddersfield, did Huddersfield do 2 seasons in the division, or did they go straight down? I can't remember.
I think they just stayed up the first season. And
stayed up the first season and then went down the second season.
Yeah, and I believe maybe it's a common trait with what teams do, and this is what I mean by Brentford maybe learning from that mistake, is both of them teams tailed off near the end of their season, didn't they? They didn't really care. They were safe. Yeah. They blamed it on that, and look how it affected them going into the season after. Sheffield United were woeful. Huddersfield were just as woeful. And I think Brentford went for a stage where we thought, maybe they've taken the foot off the gas. The disaster's going to happen. They're going to somehow get dragged into it. And you look at their results. They could have rolled over and died for Everton at 2-0 down, but they didn't. They came back, they fought and got the win. And yes, it was against 10 men, but it's still not easy. And this is going to sound horrible, and this has got nothing to do with my opinion of these. I just think they've capitulated, and Brentford are on for a storm. Eriksen's last game for them potentially reeks of Cambiasso for Leicester, doesn't it, Chris, in terms of this will be his goodbye. And the last time Leicester did that with Cambiasso, I believe we beat QPR 5-0 or 5-1. I don't even think Leeds are going to get a goal. I'm going for Brentford 5, Leeds 0. Wow. I think this is going to be devastating. I think this is going to be devastating for me.
Wow. A quick question for you, Brad. What did Leicester do in Leicester? Did they have second season syndrome, Leicester?
Yeah, but what happens is accidentally what Ranieri did is he put, Leicester will finish bottom if we get this wrong, and he put number 1 next to it, and that's what happened. They got it wrong, you see.
Yes, that was
it. Put the 1 instead of 20.
Yeah, just needed you to remind me there.
Helen's saying, I can't see Leeds surviving now. It's like the Spuds' arse. Yeah, that's very true. Everton are rolling, unfortunately, 2-1 to them. Eriksen is class. I would absolutely agree with that. Marsh is a better tactical manager than Rodgers.
Oh, Liz, wobble your head, please. Come on.
Well,
Brad, sorry, Doug. Brad did a podcast the other week. Should women be allowed to manage men's football teams? I'll tell you what, women should be allowed to manage men's football teams in this country earlier than any American should do.
Yeah,
it's a battle for who finishes bottom as well.
Yeah.
Norwich somehow win against Spurs.
Yeah. Sorry, Doug.
One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time.
That's all right. I'll read that. Battle for who finishes bottom as well. If Norwich somehow win against Spurs, Watford drop points. Watford that's not happening. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Look how you got halfway through that and then laughed. I love you got halfway through that.
Whatever he's on, whatever elevator's on, I'll have a pint of it, please.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very, very interesting. Anyway, but the next game, again, it's sort of significance for obviously European positions. We have Brighton against West Ham. There have been, wait for it, 5 draws in the last 5 meetings between Brighton and West Ham. Now, West Ham have never beaten Brighton. in the Premier League era.
Nope.
So sorry, Brighton fans. I think I'm going to probably jinx this. West Ham need a win to get Europa League football. Imagine the hilarity if West Ham were to jump up and overtake Manchester United and drop them into the Europa Conference League. That would just be hilarious. So because of that, I think West Ham are going to get their first victory over Brighton in the Premier League. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win. But Chris, a lot has been made about Marco Rose being sacked by Borussia Dortmund. Do you think Graham Potter could be a name that Dortmund could probably look at?
To be honest with you, Graham Potter's linked with every job going, isn't he, at the moment? Who knows? Who knows? Would he want it? And he's managed abroad before, obviously, Graham Potter. I don't know. Would Brighton want him to go? No. Brighton would move heaven and earth to keep him. I mean, I didn't. Brad will know. I didn't buy into the Graham Potter hype at all at the start of the season. I'm thinking, like, go and prove yourself. Before you actually, people start saying how good you are. Come back, and win something. But in fairness to him, they had a really good start, and I thought, we could be maybe like a Conference League position for them. They then went on a horrendous run. I think it was about the time that Brad started seeing Chloe, to be honest with you. I think that was what happened.
No, there was no need for that.
Brighton went on unbelievably. They were bottom of the form table at one point. And credit to Potter, and I think it might be his birthday today. I'm not sure. I saw him being presented with a cake earlier. If it is happy birthday. But he's actually proved me wrong, because he's taken that and he's turned it round, and they're back up there, like you say. West Ham, I love them to knock Manchester United down into the conference. The only better thing that would happen instead of that is Arsenal dropping into the conference, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But they've had 5 draws. They've had 5 draws. To me, this is going to be the 6th one. I'm going to go for a 2-2 here.
2-2. Brad, will you be showing allegiance to your girlfriend's team Brighton, or do you think West Ham, with Mark Noble's last game, of course, his 550th appearance, will West Ham get Europa League football?
Right, well, thanks to Chris stitching me up there. I now need to go back on record and say this. I also have a very good record since dating Chloe, because I was like a tactical genius. I was trying to find every way to revert. I was predicting Brighton to win. They were losing. I tried reverse psychology, saying they'd lose, and they'd still lose. And then it dawned on me, the dawning happened, that if I just sit on the fence, right, if I sit on the Brighton pier and the fence around it, and just predict them to draw every game by a free hit against Man City, with her permission, may I add, that it would eventually turn into luck. And since then, barring the game that I got given the permission to go for a free hit to, the game I actually attended as well, I was actually in attendance for the Man City-Brighton game. That was a great atmosphere to go back to from the Brighton fans anyway. But anyway, I digress. Ever since I've been predicting them to draw, Brighton have not lost. And like you said, to keep with tradition as well, West Ham have strangely never beaten Brighton since they've been in the top tier. And, we say this about teams having bogey teams, and I'm sure you will say you've got a bogey team. I can't think who you'd say it is at the top of my head, though. But, Chris, we've got, Man U at Old Trafford. We've started turning that around recently, but they were one. Arsenal away from home was a bogey team. Chelsea are a bogey team. We don't really like playing Palace. I could name half the league if we keep going at this rate. But you come up against a bogey team and they tend to screw you over when you need it the most. And what I have noticed is, I know they're out of, obviously I know they're out of Europe now. The final was played, but they suffer from burnout. They played the Europa League, they played that, they played this, and maybe their season's just petered out a little bit. They're not going to lose Europe. They'll fancy the chances, especially in the Conference League, if they get it. They'd like Europa League, obviously, but Brighton, day in the beach, they want to end on a high note this season. They've had a fantastic result. So, being as I can stick my neck out on the line here and give a score prediction and not break tradition, I am going for a Brighton 3-1 win. But I'm still back in the draw. I'm still back in the draw on the Leicester side prediction. So if they still win, then it's still the process.
You know what, Brad? You can't go on 3 different shows and predict to win.
I can. I can if they win. I can if they win. I can if they win. I can if they win, mate. As long as they win, somehow I can claim ownership on it.
Hello, Mental Yorkie. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, he says, West Ham United, welcome to the Conference League. Hello, Arpon as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. It takes guts to be an organ donor. Oh dear.
Oh, for God's sake. Someone take him away from his technology. Just leave him with a camera.
Oh, that's funny. Issues with injury and leaving boots in the changing rooms is Bam. Yeah, Bamford's been injured a lot this season, it has to be said. But, Jesus Christ. Manchester United, welcome to the Conference League. Yeah, everyone thinks Manchester United will go to the Conference League, but only if West Ham win. Only West Ham win. And I very much hope so. Hafiz Hal Huda, I think I pronounced that right. Anyway, but another game that is significant for the relegation. Burnley against Newcastle. 3 wins to Newcastle, 1 draw, 1 win to Burnley. Last week, a 2-1 win to Newcastle. Basically, all Burnley need to do is better Leeds' result. And if I'm being honest, I think Burnley have more about them. They've got more fighting about them as well. Newcastle, has to be said, well done to Newcastle and Eddie Howe. I think, they've done a fantastic job to get to 12th place. 46 points, not too bad as well. But, if Burnley only need a draw, really. Burnley only need a draw, and I'm actually going to go for the draw, and I think that's going to be enough because I've obviously predicted Leeds to lose to Brentford. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Chris, how do you see this one?
Well, I'm going to take whoever, I can't remember who it was that said Burnley are a yo-yo team. A yo-yo team, to define a yo-yo team, is a team that goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Burnley have not done that. Burnley have been down once in about the last 10 seasons. Apart from that, they have been... Was it
2015 they came back up?
They went down and came back up straight away because they're stuck with Sean Dyche. So they're not a yo-yo club. Far from it. Burnley have got problems. They've suffered from a lack of investment. They've got an owner come in who will either be said to be the luckiest owner ever in football or a tactical genius in getting rid of Sean Dyche when he did. But Burnley at one point looked like it was going to be easy for them. They were winning, they were drawing, and then the new manager bounce kind of wore off a little bit. Burnley aren't going to go down. Leeds are going to go down because, like you say, all Burnley got to do is better whatever Leeds do, and Leeds are going to get beaten, like we said before. So Newcastle, I love Newcastle I love their fans. They've been through hell and back of their fans. And I know every club has its own problems, etc. But I'm really pleased to see something finally going right for Newcastle. And I think the fact that they've got that money, it's going to kick, no disrespect, Douglas, it's going to kick Manchester City's, Liverpool's, Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, arse. And at last, somebody other than the so-called Sky's favourite 6 has got money. And enough money, and I've got to say this, enough money to compete, because Leicester have got money, but we can't compete with, the likes of Man City. Newcastle suddenly can. And they've got owners, from what I've heard and what they've said, are being sensible. They're not coming out and saying, right, we're going to win the league next season. They know it's a slow process of building. They've got a very good manager in Eddie Howe, who, as they 15 years ago, took over when they were minus 7 or 10 points and took them all the way up to the Premier League and kept Bournemouth in the Premier League. So unfortunately, I'm going to go for a Newcastle win because I don't think Eddie Howe is going to say, we're safe, but, come on, we still got to win these, let's do it. Newcastle players are playing for the future as well. Burnley, I just don't think they've got the manager that they've got in. He obviously is not, and he's on telly now, but he's not got the experience, I don't think, to do it. I just can't see Burnley winning this, but they will stay up, but they won't win this, and it will be 2-0 Newcastle.
2-0 Newcastle. Brad, what about you? How do you see this one going?
Literally the exact same way that Chris has said, score and all, because I kind of think that, I mean, come on, that's 20 goal difference as well. I mean, you could be losing. It's weird because even though they've been terrible, and even though the probably, I still reckon whoever does stay up out of them two, because they'll both lose at the weekend, in my opinion. Obviously, because I'm agreeing with Chris's scoreline, but I think that's the team you'll flag up when you do your predictions next season, that you'll be saying is going to be in trouble and going to struggle next season because money issues or whatever the reason. And the thing is, there's less pressure on Burnley because if, let's just say, reality happens and Brentford are stomping all over Leeds and it's 3-0 at half time or whatever. Even if, and I know you want to try and G your players up, but it's so hard to concentrate knowing that you could lose and stay up. I mean, that's not very often you hear that. I mean, you're not going to, if you could be 4-0 down, but if Leeds are losing 3-0 with 20 minutes to go, you're still safe. It doesn't matter. And then you relax because you're not going to go down. Leeds aren't coming back. You hear the cheers from your own crowd. You're safe. It's hard to keep yourself motivated and focus on what you're doing. And that's why I don't think they'll get battered as such, but I think maybe they'll be a bit nervous. Word will get around that Leeds have got out of hand and they're down to 9 men or whatever, or punch-ups are happening. Joey Barton started a pitch invasion like he did in midweek or whatever. The game's done. The result's done. They're safe regardless of what the result is at Turf Moor. And I think the relief will be felt, and then Newcastle will grab a couple of goals. So that's why I'm sticking with 2-0 and agreeing with Chris on that scoreline. 2-0 to Newcastle.
2-0. But honestly, I never liked Burnley ever since they got a 1-1 draw against us, which had a chance of a perfect home season. I hated them more when they ended our 60 home unbeaten run. Yeah, that is very true. Leeds squeak it out 2-1. Oh, Cedric thinks Leeds are going to stay up. Interesting. Newcastle will take 4 to 5 seasons before they can touch top 6, says Pete. Brentford have done well. Yeah, they have. Oh, Ronaldo, PSG with me. That ain't happening. That is not happening. Not a chance in hell that is happening. They're not signing Ronaldo. Hello to One Rovers Vlogs. I did see you in here as well. And happy birthday, Hussam, as well. I did notice you were in. Happy birthday, my friend. Hope you were having a very, very good day as well. Go and check out This Is Football as well. No Barton slander, he says Charlie from One Rovers Vlogs. I'll be honest, this one is not really worth predicting because Chelsea are all but guaranteed third place. They have a 18 plus 18 goal difference ahead of Tottenham. So basically Tottenham have to beat Norwich 18-0 and hope Chelsea lose to Watford for them to finish third. Not happening. I think Watford are going to get absolutely battered on the final home day of the season. I'm going 5-0 Chelsea. Play it short, sweet, and simple. Chris?
Same.
5-0.
Yeah, I would 5-0 before you actually said it. I was thinking this. I mean, if you want a yo-yo team, let's have a look at Watford. They are awful. And I don't dislike Watford, and the same with Norwich. I don't dislike them. I've got no particular feelings, but I feel so sorry for the fans that every season they come up and they should be dreaming of possibly achieving something. And they know that, if you're a Watford fan, you're going to have your third manager by the end of the season. You're going to get relegated. Alan Shearer summed it up on Match of the Day when they finally got confirmed as being relegated. He said they got what they deserved. Sacking a manager when you're sat in 12th place in the Premier League after 7 weeks. What the hell? They're absolutely. I hope they go. Well, they are going down, and I hope they stay down for 2 or 3 seasons. Maybe get their act together. Maybe learn something. Look at these teams that have come up and done well, and no, good 5-0 at least for. In fact, our record could be at risk here, Brad.
Well, I mean, it won't be at risk purely for the fact that it's
they're at
at
home.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it'd be Man U. Would it be Man U's record at risk?
That's
Yeah,
an understatement of the year. Watford are utter shite. Yes,
Yeah,
100%, Gary.
That's
That's
actually
giving a bad
offensive
name
to
to
utter
Chan.
shit. Yeah, that's offending utter shite. To be fair, I'm going to go one better than you, just to be to be different. I'm going to go one higher and say 6.
Six.
Just to be difficult, I'm going 6.
Funnily
It's
enough, I think Sebastian went 6-0. Yeah, 6-0 Chelsea. But yeah,
lovely.
I think everyone is expecting a big Chelsea win. I mean, even though that their form has been anything but perfect, it's been very erratic actually. 3 draws, 1 win, and 1 defeat in the last 5.
Although I will say, if they try and lay all 6 chances to Christian Pulisic, he's still managing to miss the goal that he failed to miss against us last night. So, if he's on shooting practice, if the game can't kick off until Pulisic scores a goal, then there's no game on Sunday for Chelsea, because that was awful.
The thing is, we were battered yesterday. We were lucky to get a 1-1. Respect to Chelsea. Mate. I mean, when our team bus left London, it was full of kitchen sinks because there's that many thrown at us. And if Watford do that, they're just going to get pummeled.
I mean, it was a FIFA game, wasn't it? I mean, Doug, you probably know that better, Chris, the terminology, but you'll understand it, I'm sure, Chris. You play a game of FIFA, don't you? And it's normally Ultimate Team. You see these screenshots of someone going, how did I lose? Or how did I draw against this guy? He's had 1 shot, 1 on target, I've had 50 shots. We absolutely FIFA Chelsea, and it was unbelievable. I loved every second of it that I actually watched, because I forgot the second half because I was doing my podcast. But don't bring it up, Chris. I'll get that out of the way before you have a chance to mention it.
It's been noted. It's in my little book.
Hey, I saw all the goals. What more do you want? I saw all the action.
I had to bring somebody else into the show to cover the second half.
Guys, there are 318 of you watching. Really massive thanks to everyone who's watching this. Please consider liking the stream, sharing it out as well, and also consider subscribing as well. An Elevator fan has said, if Watford beat Chelsea, I will shave my hair. Yeah, I don't think that is going to happen. But we come to a game where I think now I'm gonna say this, that earlier I said that West Ham have never beaten Brighton in the Premier League era. Crystal Palace have never beaten Manchester United at Selhurst Park. So something has to give. And the way Manchester United are away from home right now, they're absolutely pants. I mean, they've had 16 wins, 10 draws, and 11 defeats. When have you seen a Manchester United side have 11 defeats this season? Like, that is just absolutely crazy. So I am going to go for a Palace win. And I think Man United will be playing Conference League football next season. So I'm going 2-0 Crystal Palace.
I mean, I mean, it's not something. If you'd have said that at the start of the season or in October, even with Ollie at the wheel, you'd have probably been going, "Oh, come on, they're not going to." But it's plausible to happen. I mean, Chris, I can't remember what I went for in this game. I don't think I went Manchester United. I can't remember if I gave the.
I can tell you, I have it up here. You went for Palace.
I did. Well, you know what then? Being as I got stick for going for a Brighton win on this one and a draw on our channel, where the real title's been decided, isn't it, Chris? I'm going to stick to my guns here and say Crystal Palace 2, Manchester United 0. Because I just find it interesting how bad they've gone, that their new manager, who hasn't technically taken over yet, has already turned around and gone, you crap, you're surplus to requirements in regards to Wan-Bissaka. I mean, that's I don't know if that's good or bad to be seeing the initiative of that. I mean, a few Manchester United fans, when I put the tweet out, did say that it's good to show the initiative, but it's going to be a bit awkward if Ralph Rangnick decides to pick Wan-Bissaka. Surely he's not going to, because his head's not going to be there, but we'll see. I'm still sticking with Palace 2-0.
Okay, Chris?
No matter how bad a season your team has had this season, nobody could have had a worse season than Man United. I mean, the biggest, or what the fans would say is the biggest team in the world, possibly, or one of them, you've probably done a better job, Maggot. They take, they've got a club that in the previous 2 seasons had finished 2nd and 4th and got Champions League football.
Mm-hmm.
They've then decided that manager's not good enough for them when they were higher than they are now, I believe, and they sacked him. Mm-hmm. And now at Manchester United, there should be managers out there that would walk barefoot over broken glass to manage them. But no, what they had to do was get a temporary manager in. This is how far they've fallen. A temporary manager who, let's face it, isn't a manager, as in a coach type manager. He couldn't manage himself out of a paper bag. He's got all these players that are sort of top names. Oh, great. But he hasn't got a team. He's now, as Brad said, next season he's moving up to being a general manager. Well, no, this is Man United. Their general manager's got to also have a part-time job of managing the Austrian national football team. How far can Man United drop and still not be laughed at? And their fans are saying, and it's not the fans, it's the problem with Man United is most of their fans, they were successful for so long that most of their fans don't know anything pre-Fergie. They don't think they don't even know Manchester United existed before then. But the owners are just destroying that club. They totally
massively
are, and and it's not foreign owners. Liverpool hasn't been destroyed. We haven't been destroyed. But I just don't know where United are going to go from here. I really don't. 11 Haag is coming in because that's his new nickname apparently. He's going to come in and.
But that song is absolutely cringeworthy.
Yeah,
that new chant is awful.
Yeah, when half of your own fan base listen to it, and we all know Reece is one of them. But when you can almost picture them sat at the screens watching it and just casually doing that, because they know it's embarrassing. That tells you all you need to know about your crap chant that you've come up with for it. I mean, if I was Mr. Hag, because I can't even call him Ten Hag now without getting shudders thinking about it, I would be sat there going, "Oh, flip me! What have I signed up for?"
Yeah. How do you guys think he will do?
Do you know what? If he's given time, and that's the thing with Man United, because that Man United team, it doesn't just need a service, it needs a new engine. It is that bad. And he's going to have to, it's a bit like Everton, he's going to have to literally get rid of the big names. And I know, man, you want the the big marquee signings and all this. Well, they've done shit for you. Your Pogba, Ronaldo. I mean, I said, it was before Ronaldo does a lot for charity. Well, his biggest thing he's done for charity in recent years was coming back to Man United. And even he couldn't save them. I've gone 2-1 to Palace, but they've got to accept that. And I think some of the like Brad said, some of the sensible Man United fans, like Reece and what have you, know that he's going to have to be given time. It's like Arteta at Arsenal. It's not going to happen overnight. And if he is given time, because they've still got the name, they could eventually get back. But it took you guys 30 odd years to get back to winning the Premier League. Man United, you got a few years to go yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely going to be a very tough job for whoever goes in there. And obviously Ten Hag does have a big job ahead of him. Now we have, whoops, that's pretty bad. Leicester City against Southampton. It has to be said that as bad a season that you guys have had, you could potentially finish 8th place this season.
Oh.
Now, I don't think that is too bad at all, considering that I think if Liverpool were to win the Champions League, I believe, but correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I do believe that 8th place would get Europa Conference.
No, 7th.
Is it 7th?
It's 7th, yeah. Whatever possibility we could do to get back into Europe.
Yeah.
There isn't one. And Russia goes mad and we have to invade that way. That's the only way.
But I must say that you against Chelsea, I watched the highlights. I've actually thought Chelsea were, they absolutely dominated you, but they didn't take their chances. And, you took a very good goal from Maddison. The Marcus Alonso scoring, which is a bit weird, but never mind about that. Southampton, to be fair to their credit, they gave us a good game the other night. We did win by 2-1, but it's the final day of the season. You guys are at home. I'm going to say you're going to go crazy. I'm going for 5-1 against Southampton. I'm going 5-1 Leicester.
I've always liked this channel. I've always liked this channel. Honestly, I've always liked it, guys. It's not true. Yeah. It's not true what they've said.
No.
Yeah, 5-1. I think Vardy might get on the party with a few WKDs and a hat trick. I think he will score a hatful of goals. Maybe a farewell goal for Yuri Tillemans and maybe a goal for James Maddison.
Just saying then, I mean, Brendan Rodgers has said like one game a week next season will help us. So he's already getting his Arsenal quotes in. Southampton, they look like they were actually going to have a good season, but they have tailed off so badly. They're in 17th place in the form table. Their win percentage away from home is 17%. And this is all probably leading to his answers. They're probably all going to lead us to a 5-0 win for Southampton. I mean, Southampton do well. Every year, Ralph Hussenthal has got a really difficult job on his hands there because he gets a decent player like James Ward-Prowse. He'll be gone this summer. And, he's still manages to keep them in the league every year. Funny enough, I laughed at your 5-1, but I've actually gone 4-1 to Leicester.
4-1.
Yeah. And I think, if Ant will disagree with me, I know he will, but if you take the season we've had with the 26, nearly 30 injuries we've had, 9 of which were defensive players, and you say that we finished 8th and got to a semi-final of the European competition.
Yeah.
Not been a bad season at all. And there's a lot of clubs who have swapped places with us.
No, definitely not. Brad, what are you going to go for?
Well, I've got to, haven't I? I was hoping Chris would do it, but clearly he hasn't got the bottle to go for it. He's got Spurs on the brain because he's doing their podcast. Leicester are going to complete the hat trick. They're going to get it on the last day of the season. Southampton are going to make it 3 seasons in a row because Leicester are going to do the double on them on it, and it's going to be 9-0 Leicester. I might as well, eh? Why not? Why not, eh? I mean,
9-0. He's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Why not? Yeah. Especially when I'm doing a review with Chris about it, and we're talking about how Southampton stuck a 1-0 win to a corner goal. But
yeah. A quick question for you, Brad. James Ward-Prowse, would you go for him in the summer?
See, the thing is, I don't. Yes, he's got the Beckham style free kicks, and everybody's raving about that. But I don't actually know what he'd bring to Leicester that we don't already have. I mean, you've got to consider for the stick that Maddison and Barnes, and I've been a bit critical towards Barnes this season at points, for the stick that Leicester fans give them, and that allows the opinion of outsiders looking in, might think, oh, they're not having that good a season. Maybe they do need a Ward-Prowse. Yeah. He's our top goal scorer, Maddison. He's improved year on, year out. So has Harvey Barnes. Yes, I question maybe. I have alluded to the fact that maybe the tactics have played a part to Harvey Barnes stuttering and being a bit predictable this season. But again, he's hit double figures. I just don't see where he fits in. We've already got a youngster potential lined up with Brunt for Yuri Tillemans, so he doesn't need that. We've already entered in the loony bin season with 3 or 4 midfielders, Ericsson being one of them. I just think he's a good quality, but there's better out there.
That's why you've got 500 odd viewers. They're all coming in to see the jokes.
Oh God! But yeah, I wouldn't take
life,
him.
Boy.
I like that. I absolutely like that. Yeah, 25 likes. Please continue liking the stream and consider subscribing as well. One person needs to leave Southampton. Could see him going Newcastle, West Ham, somewhere like that. Yeah, I could easily see that. as well. Right, what we'll do is we'll leave the title race to last, and we'll go for this game, Norwich City against Tottenham. I'm going to be honest here. There was a season where I think Tottenham all but relegated Hull City. I think Hull City were already relegated at the time, but they went to Hull, beat them 7-1, I think it was. I kid you not. I think this is where Tottenham will go crazy on the final day, because Norwich City are pants. They are awful. Just stay down. You get your parachute payments. You'll probably come back up next season. I'm going Norwich 0, Tottenham 7. I'm going 7-0 Tottenham.
God, are we predicting football scores or rugby scores for some of the predictions? These are great. I love this.
Anything can happen on the final day. Anything can happen on the final day.
True. Very true. It can.
Literally, before I came on this stream, I literally had to leave the stream because this one was coming up. I was on a Spurs stream, and the question there was, who's going to get top 4, them or Arsenal? And I can't believe that Arsenal. I did say it was Arsenal's to throw away, and my God, they've thrown it away. If not, I said to them at the end of before I left, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is Tottenham do not put a bucketful past Norwich and get 4th place. I'm going to come on your show every week and laugh at you. It will be such. I mean, there's a saying, isn't there? It's a Spursy thing to do, and if Spurs lose this, it will be the Spursy thing to outnumber any previous Spursy thing in life. Norwich get down, stay down with Watford. I'm with you. I'm going to go 5-0. I don't think it will quite be a 7, but I'm going to go 5-0 to Spurs. And please go. Goodbye, Norwich. Sorry for the fans, but bye-bye.
5-0. Yeah, Brad, what are you saying?
See, it's funny you mentioned them putting 7 past the Hull side when they were already relegated. Because one of the most infamous games that Spurs have had, last game of the season syndrome, where they played a relegated side, Spurs were looking to get their highest place finish in the Premier League era by coming second. They couldn't come first because there was a small mini Midlands team that were sitting on top of the perch, but they could come second. And all they had to do was be relegated Newcastle, who were a complete mess of a side, and they lost that game 5-1. So, having said all of that,
who was that?
Norwich. I can't remember. I can't remember. Some Midland side. They like Leicester, I think the Americans might call us. Leicester. But having said that, remembering everything, here's my score prediction. Because I do think the difference between Norwich at the start of the season now is that they've got Dean Smith. He'll be good for them to do a couple of seasons in the Championship, rebuild them, and then actually try and stay up. Norwich City 2. Tottenham Hotspur 4.
4-2.
Look at you, I reeled you in. I reeled you both in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
it's just the 2 that you think Norwich are going to get 2 goals against Tottenham.
Yeah, well, they say anything can happen on the day, and I actually see Norwich getting an early goal, being 1-0 up and causing absolute chaos in between Arsenal fans and Spurs fans. We have Spurs fans dreading here they go again with last day scenario, and Arsenal fans will foolishly think they're beating Everton, they'll get top 4. But no, I think Norwich will get a good start, but then the goals will flow, and then maybe a last minute, 94th minute Norwich goal just to kind of cheer the end of it. But yeah, 4-2 Spurs.
4-2 Spurs. Gary,
say what you think.
Yeah, Gary, say what you think. Definitely. Norwich are cretinous, utter shite. Yeah, that's the second team that's been called utter shite. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting game for sure. So we now come to the title race. We'll start at Anfield because Liverpool do play Wolves. And basically a slip up. Yeah, I know I've said that. Slip up for Manchester City will allow Liverpool to come in. I have to admit, this season, I think the fact that we've taken Manchester City down to the final game, I think, is a testament to us, considering that we were a lot of points behind them. And then go back to January, I think it was, and especially losing to a team in blue, Leicester, of course, on the 28th of December. I think we've had a very, very good run since then. I think the signing of Luis Diaz has been a massive help as well. And believe you me, Mohamed Salah will want that golden boot. But if he is not fit, I don't want him to be risked, because I want him completely fit for the Champions League final. It is Divock Origi's last home game as well at Anfield. I'm going to absolutely miss Origi. I know there's loads of Liverpool fans that probably won't be, but Origi has been an absolute cult hero for me. So I'm going to say Origi will get one. I think it will be a comfortable win, but it's just whether or not Manchester City drop points against Aston Villa. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. So, Chris, how do you see this one going?
In fairness, Liverpool blinked first when they got the draw. And all Manchester City had to do was concentrate and win every game. And then they went and blinked, and they were very lucky to get the draw the other day. I can't see Liverpool beating a Wolves team who are up and down, as I like to say, more often than a horse knickers. You know, they promised so much, they didn't, and didn't keep it up. It's going to be Liverpool. This probably. I'm going to go. I don't think he'll risk Salah, and I hope he doesn't, because I think you will need him for the Champions League. But I'm going to say you've got too much. You're at Anfield. You know what you're going for. The atmosphere is going to be literally electric. We might even see a Liverpool pitch invasion. Who knows? It kind of goes on.
I don't think so.
But no, I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. Brad, what about you?
I mean, I said a few weeks ago when we've been doing our predictions and that and building it up, and I said that neither Man City or Liverpool would slip. But I also said they'd match each other in terms of that. I was half right, because when you blinked, Man City have also blinked. The only problem is I just don't see that changing going into the final game of the season. I think you'll win. I think you'll win comfortably. I don't know what it is about you playing Wolves or a team like that, but you seem to just let slip a goal. I'm going to go Liverpool will win this 3-1. I don't know if maybe
3-1.
news. Yeah, I don't know if maybe news will filter through, maybe if Man City result, and then a little bit deflated atmosphere around Anfield will allow maybe a little bit of lapse in concentration for Wolves to get a goal, but you should win this comfortably. This team's been on the beach. In fact, out of all the teams, even Watford with like 21 points or 23 points, whatever he's got, Wolves beat them to the beach for their season, and they've been on it since about mid-September, the way they've been.
No, I know. I just think just answer Spurs TV. I do think Son might get the golden boot. I think he might well get the golden boot. I think the fact that they're at Norwich as well, I think he might get the golden boot. And now on to the Etihad.
Jamie Vardy scoring all 9 against Southampton. I told you heard it here first.
Fingers crossed that happens. But we go on to the Etihad. Manchester City against Aston Villa. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The fact that Steven Gerrard is the Aston Villa manager going to the Etihad, he did rest Coutinho, he did rest Danny Ings. Don't think Leon Bailey's going to be fit. Don't think Konsa's going to be fit. You just never know. You just never know. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Hopefully Villa can do something, but this is more of a hope than anticipation, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I like this. Klopp has been playing mind games today, hasn't he, with the old Gerrard talk?
Yeah.
And what have you? I'm sure Pep's totally ignored it altogether. I think though, I very much agree with you, Doug, and I think it'll be 1-1. I think Villa Not the fact that they've got that Liverpool connection. I just think Steven Gerrard is a winner. And can you imagine going into next season knowing that you've just done that? It's all about, Leicester. One of the facts of when we won the Premier League was the fact that we'd done so well in the previous, last 9 games of the previous season and done that, and it'll be something for him to take in. And yeah, I think if anyone's going to make the slip up, I think it's going to be Manchester City. We've seen the vulnerable. Like I said, we're very, very lucky to get a point in the last game. I can't remember who we played now, but
West Ham.
West Ham, that was it. So yeah, I can see they obviously don't like teams in claret and blue. I'm going to go for a 1-1, and the title goes to Merseyside.
Oh, Chris, thank you very much. Does Brad agree or does he not?
How do you leave the stream? Wait, just give all the place.
You wait for the host to kick you out.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Doug. I'm sorry, because when Man City play Villa, they always seem to give them an absolute pasting, and every time Steven Gerrard's been within a sniff of anything to do with a title, he's found a way to slip. And I'm sure for his own credentials, rather than his Liverpool, affection for you, being spending his career at Liverpool or his entirety, I'm sure for his own credentials, he'd like to just say on his record, yeah, I'm the Villa manager that beat Manchester City or drew with Manchester City, and we ended the season really well. Yeah, it'll probably add on that it stopped, it helped Liverpool win the trophy, but it would still be testament to how well he's doing as a manager.
Yeah.
But I have to stick to what I said a few weeks ago. I think you're going to match each other, and I've gone for Liverpool to win against Wolves, and I just think it's going to be one of them damp squid. All the hype, and then it's like going to a movie that you hype about, and you sit there and watch it and go, "That was crap. I don't know why that was all hyped up." And I'm not saying it'll be like that, but I think you'll see Liverpool fans will be happy because they win comfortably, and I think Man City fans will be that little bit more happier because they'll win comfortably. And I've gone, please don't kick me from here, but I've gone 5-0 Man City.
5-0. Jesus Christ.
I can't sit here and say just because I'm on Liverpool channel, I suddenly want you guys to beat Man City and do it. I'm not really that bothered overall. If you win it, it's great, and it's great for Liverpool fans. If Man City win it, I'm sure it'd be great for them. Yeah. But I just realistically, I just don't see Villa doing anything to stop Man City taking the title.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. But I mean, as I said, anything can happen on the final day. But yeah, that wraps up the Premier League predictions for 21-22 season. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always, to do these. But I think going forward, I'll definitely have guests on. I have liked this wee format, and I do think that. We will definitely get more guests on. But my big thank you to Chris and Brad for coming on. Have you guys got a Southampton preview tonight?
Brad hasn't, but I have. I've got one at 7:00, and I've got a Southampton fan coming on. And of course, tomorrow at 3 p.m, you're going to be on my channel.
Sunday even then as well.
It's called Premature Celebration. What can I say? You're going to be on my channel Sunday, 3:00, when we are covering the race for the title, the battle for Europe, and the scrap for survival.
I cannot wait for that, and obviously thank you very much for obviously asking me to do that. It honestly does mean a lot, and hopefully by then I'll have more voice in me. I'm sure I will. I think it's only hay fever. And Brad, also thank you very much. You've got your own channel now. A matter of opinion. How's that going?
Yeah, it's going really well. You obviously one of the part of the first panel for the first episode, weren't you, when we discussed Marvel versus DC? And I've done 3 more since then. Literally this morning, I put one up. So if you follow my Twitter handle there, the link is in the description to the channel. That matter of opinion. Episode 4 went up today. It was great. We were discussing WWE and what my panel and myself thought was the best era from that. So check me out on Twitter and you'll find it there. And again, thank you very much for having me on, and make sure you do drop a like and a subscribe to this channel if you're new here, because Doug does a hell of a lot of work. I see it every day. He puts in so many hours into watch-alongs and podcasts, and if you must, my Leicester counterpart, when I figure out how cameras work, if you must, go and follow my good friend and comrade up there as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely it's been a fantastic fantastic podcast and fantastic stream. As always, thank you to everyone who's watched. I think we had over about 500 old people watching at one point, so thank you very much.
Mate. Don't big yourself up. They've come on for my jokes. That's what it is.
But
that's what it did.
Thank you very much.
The last one.
Thank you very much to everyone who's watched today. Please consider subscribing. Please consider liking the stream before you leave as well. I will be back with you guys in about 45 minutes. We'll be doing a Liverpool season's player ratings. Really looking forward to that. The final Friday LFC focus. Because obviously next week I will be on my stag do. Believe it or not, I am on my stag do next week. So
I need to do a live vlog.
I know that should be very, 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 very good. But no, thank you to everyone for their support for the Premier League season. It's been fantastic. Definitely going to get better and bigger over the next wee while as well. And also,
mate. All the best for that.
Thank you. And also, what I'm going to do is, sometime this week, I will be reacting to my Premier League predictions. See how bad or how good my predictions were. But yeah, guys, I will see you in 45 minutes. We will have Sophie, we'll have Connor, we'll have Dan on as well. So really looking forward to that. But until then, it is goodbye from the three of us, and we'll see you very, very soon. Enjoy the final weekend of Premier League football. You just never know what happens on the final day. See you later. Bye-bye.